And on that note, I really like this can-do attitude and participation. So for our next community segment, even though it's a little bit of a segue, I was able to interview and talk with Executive Director Paula Akana at the Iolani Palace, where they're doing some very interesting things as we come out of COVID. Please join me in our spotlight of Iolani Palace. I'm so lucky to be here today with Paula Akana, Executive Director of Iolani Palace. Tell me what it's been like for the last 2 years.
Oh boy, it has been a whirlwind, and it's been just ups and downs, and the closure came and we realized we had no rainy day fund with the Friends of Iolani Palace. That's just not how it had been operated, and so it was pretty devastating.
So you folks were closed down for how long, and when were you able to start reopening?
We were closed for 3 months, and then we reopened. Then we had another closure for a month statewide, so about 4 months total. We used that 3 months to just learn as much as we could. We had staff that were just checking out everything on the CDC and the Department of Health, and taking a look at what other museums were trying to do and what was going on in the museum world. And I think we were really fortunate for the things we had already put in place. So when we were able to open up, we already had, we were ready. And we were pretty strict, but people felt really comfortable. But initially, we had no visitors. And so it was bringing out that kahea, that call to the local community to come and support the palace and support all of our cultural institutions. I think a lot of the people felt that they weren't kind of comfortable coming in because it had always been overrun by visitors. So we really tried to encourage them to come and explore now, and they did, and that was really our saving grace, was the Hawaii community coming together to help us.
Were you able to take care of some renovations or any kind of important projects that were kind of delayed because of the shutdown?
A couple of things happened with the shutdown. I mean, unfortunately, we had to lay off almost half the staff. And we brought back maybe 3 positions because that hasn't come through. But what we did do during that time, we did a lot of deep cleaning, which we hadn't been able to do. And then we took a look at some of the projects we wanted to do but never had time to look at. And one was bringing our retail store online. And so it launched online, and that has been really good.
Tell me the website so people can go see it.
www.iolanipalace.org.
Okay.
And you can look for the store. We have our retail stores great there. But what we also did was we tried to take a look at some of the things we wanted to do program-wise that we hadn't been able to. And one of those ideas was to do, we have an audio tour in 7 languages, and then we have docent-led tours. But we always had thought about, what about some specialty tours? So we launched higher price point specialty tours that are smaller, numbers of like 4 to 6. One is a white glove tour. We tour the palace with our historian, Sita Cup Choi, which is an awesome thing to do. And then you actually go upstairs, don a white glove, and our collections people show you how to care for some objects.
So it's really a learning experience.
It's a learning experience, and people love that one. We also have Meiji Emperor Tour, and that really talks about Kalakaua's trip to Japan.
Oh, wow.
And how it kind of opened the door for a lot of the relationships we have with Japan today. We do a Chamberlain's tour, where our 2 gentlemen dress like the Chamberlain. So we were able to kind of take a look and put together these tours that have really helped us.
I'm a former history teacher, so I just love this. And these are tours that locals can also sign up for.
Yes, anybody. And we suggest that everybody go online to sign up.
Okay.
We still have people who walk up for tickets, but we are trying to do everything online. And we still kind of have a limit to the number of people. We haven't got back up to full scale. We used to be open 6 days a week. We're going to stay at 5 because the place needs to rest. And that gives us time to do the cleaning and everything that I think wasn't really done when we were open 6 days a week. So go online, take a look at what we have, and it's really exciting.
I love how you're talking about this place, and it's really a caretaker. You are a caretaker. The people of Hawaii are a caretaker for this very, very special place. Now, I'm super excited because restrictions are relaxing, and you have partnered with other local museums. Tell me about Triennial and some of the exciting things that you folks are doing in the future.
So the Triennial was a really neat project. When they came to us and asked if we'd be part of it, I was so excited. Number one, I think this is a huge piece of art. We have beautiful works of art within the palace, and I think people forget about that because they come through and they learn the history of Hawaii and the greatness of the Hawaiian kingdom and then the sadness of the overthrow. But they don't really tune in on some of these remarkable pieces of art that were either gifts to our li'i or Kalakaua. When he went around the world, he purchased all kinds of things. They originally said, well, we want to project maybe the queen's words on the palace. It kind of sounds interesting. And then they ended up with the queen's flowers from her garden. And it was just spectacular.
It was stunning. Do you have any idea of how many people maybe came through? I mean, I saw it like lighting up my Instagram feed.
Most of the people were outside looking in. We did some special tours the first 2 nights, which was the Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday was the kickoff evening. Other than that, the grounds were closed because it had to be total darkness in the front in order for the projection to work. And so for security reasons, the gates were closed. Now there's talk about maybe there's some way we could bring it back every quarter or at least during certain times of the year if the artist is willing and if we can get people to fund the projection. It was a pretty costly thing that they put together. But I think it helps to tell that story of the overthrow and the enduring love that people have for Liliuokalani.
Yes.
Just in seeing these flowers. Plus it was really cool. And I really think, especially Kalakaua, would have been jazzed to see something like that.
Oh, with electricity and the ability of electricity to project that.
And then what we're kind of doing, which is really interesting, it's called the Gathering Project. So for one Friday in each month of the 3 months of the triennial, it's closed, and then people sign up ahead of time, and you come in and you're put in little groups of like 8 people, and then they just talk about different subjects. And the thought behind it is Kalakaua was always holding meeting. He was like the networking king, but he brought people in specifically to learn and talk. And so we kind of thought, this is a really neat way of maybe bringing the palace to a different level than just a tourist attraction or a visitor attraction. So people were talking about Red Hill. People were talking about Mauna Kea. People were talking about art in the Pacific and how art heals. People were talking about how do we work with the communities that need the most help. And so a lot of it ties into what our li'i did. And so they were able to sit in those rooms and feel the mana of this remarkable place and then just talk story.
So what I love about that is that it's dialogue and community conversation that matters, and it's in such a sacred place, and so there's meaning to it. And you're bringing the palace alive. So I just love this opportunity to talk story with you now, and that this is going to be something that you said is going to happen in March and April, and the public...
The public can come out. We'll send you all the info so you can put it out to the public on what days and where to sign up and so forth. And it's something that maybe we'll try to work in to our business plan on how we can do that and make that happen.
I think that we can look to the past for a way forward, and that's what I really love about the work that you're doing, Paula, with Iolani Palace. So if you wanted to leave our viewers with one last message, what would you like to share with them?
I hope you'll come and visit our palace. It's your palace. It's the people's palace. So many people come up to me and say, I haven't been there since I was in 4th grade, and they're my age. So you really need to come and see. We have some remarkable cultural treasures here at the palace to see, and new things as well. For those who haven't been here in even the past year or two, you'll see new things in there. So just come and enjoy, and that's a way to support. You can become a member of the Friends of Iolani Palace as well, and just help us as we perpetuate this place, we protect it, we restore it, and share its story with the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.